Let's see here. Hey gang, just a little adjustment there. Didn't like the way that was showing up on my shirt. Good evening, Facebook, and welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah and happy day to you. I hope everyone had a most joyous and festive day and everything went well. If for some reason you had an epic Christmas parenting fail, please let me know. I would be curious to hear about it. And in fact, if you had an epic Christmas parenting fail, because Big Papa believes that failure is the best way for us to learn. And I believe that all of our failures, mine included, help everyone else to learn. Everyone else need not fail. Hey, Stefan, good evening from the Netherlands. Merry Christmas to you. And hello, Mom. I believe that all of us can learn from one another's failures. So if you had an epic Christmas parenting fail, if you feel like you've been watching the Daily Dose the last couple weeks and you've been getting yourself primed up for this big Christmas event, and all of a sudden you just kind of lost your mind and you just went backwards and your kid flipped out and all the family got upset and, turkey got thrown off the table or something, grandma got smashed in the face with a chocolate cake. If something like that happened, I would love for you to send me a message. What I'm going to do is I will actually process through it with you. I would like an opportunity to process through it with you, but I also want to be able to share it with all of our Post Daily Dose viewers. So if you had an epic Christmas parenting fail, which I hope you didn't, but if you did, fantastic for you, awesome for you. Let's look at it. Let's all learn from it. And then let's move forward and get ourselves ready for 2019. Hey, Cindy. And so one of the things, the topic of this episode is, before your child can progress, he must first regress. See, a lot of times parents don't realize this, that you can be going along really well. Actually, I got two different ways I want to talk to you about this. But you can be going along really well with your child, and all of a sudden they have a really bad day. And what happens is, because they have a bad day and they're stressed, we tend to, as parents, get really stressed too. And then what we end up doing is we end up creating more stress around a situation which is actually probably normal for their developmental progress. Anytime a child, before they get ready for a developmental jump, they're going to have some regression. And a lot of times, if you don't understand it, if you don't expect it, if you don't look for it, it's going to throw you off. And when it throws you off, you're going to be invited into that same stress that they're experiencing. But if you understand it, if you can see it, if you recognize it, if you're like, we've been going along really well, and all of a sudden my child is really cranky, she's really whiny, she's talking back a lot more, she's isolating herself in a room a lot more, she's just being nasty, that is oftentimes attributed to a regressed emotional state. And children will automatically, hey Julie, children will automatically regress into this earlier stage because they're emotional, and just like their body, just like we will oftentimes have some kind of physical regression before we make a developmental jump, before our bones will start hurting, or for infants, toddlers, they'll start crawling where they've been walking, and then it's like, why are they doing this? And it's about the fact that they're about to take off and start running. And so I really want you to think that next time, instead of getting overwhelmed with the fact that your child is just like acting poorly, think about, if they've been going along pretty well and things are getting challenging, maybe the challenges you're seeing has nothing to do with this momentary experience of stress, or maybe it has nothing to do with their trauma or anything else, but rather it is a regression so they can make a progression. Anytime we move to the next developmental state, we have to regress. It's like our bodies go back and start preparing. It's like we go back into preparation and we start strengthening all the little weak areas that we've had emotionally, psychologically, physically, and then boom, we make another jump. So just think about that. Next time your child starts to struggle, that they must oftentimes regress before they progress. Now, the other part of that I want to talk to you about is when parents will oftentimes go out with their kids. They'll be gone all day and they'll have the most amazing day, that they've had in a long time. And as soon as they get home, it's like the child just loses their lunch. I mean, they just kind of go hog wild and, have a big blowout, a big tantrum, big rage, however you want to call it. And then one of the common things out of the parent's mouth is, what are you doing this for? We had such a great day and now it just feels like you don't appreciate anything that we've done all day. Well, see, I want to reframe that for you. Children don't go through the whole day and then come and just blow it. What happens is they go through the whole day, and the reason they go through the whole day successfully is because of the work you guys have done, because the success you've done. It's like you've created this much stronger foundation, and what you've done is you've increased their window of tolerance. So you increase their window of tolerance, and as you increase their window of tolerance, they're able to tolerate more stress. So whereas you may have a child who previously couldn't go out in public for more than an hour, who now can go out in public for a whole day. See, that's not just a conscious choice. That's just not a cognitive decision they're making. And that's really one of the problems with point and reward charts is we set children up with this big reward if they can just act right. And really, it's not a cognitive decision. It is an emotional, unconscious, regulatory state that then gives way to the cognitive or the lack of cognitive functioning. So you get through the whole day and your child's been really good through the whole day. But by the time you get home, their window of tolerance has gotten so much smaller. And guess what a lot of times is at home, what's going on at home? A lot of stress happens at home. So home becomes not the safe, comfortable, relaxed place it should be. It becomes a more stressful place. It becomes a more threatening place. It becomes a more scary place. So your child gets back home and they've got a very small window of tolerance for potentially the most threatening part, the most stressful part of the whole day. Because this is where all the yucky stuff can get stirred up at home, because it's where it's the most intimate place. And then you layer onto that the fact that, now they got to go take a bath and pretty soon they got to go to bed. Maybe they're hungry, or maybe they've had junk food that day. Maybe they missed their favorite show and they want to turn on the television, or they want to play a video game. So you layer all these things where you're saying, no, 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 do this, do this, do this, do this. And it's just overwhelming. Your child's window of tolerance slams shut and they blow. Right? So the first thing you have to do is recognize that window of tolerance. Be grateful for the fact that you made it through that whole day and you guys were successful. The second thing you got to do is tell your child that. Tell them, look, we're going home. We've had a great day, and I know we get home. You guys are going to be tired. We're going to be stressed. We're going to get through the evening. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to finish this day on a high note. And so then you just leave it at that. Now you're mindful. So don't you walk slowly through the environment now. So you're slowing things down, and maybe the bath waits till tomorrow morning. Of course you got to say no to the television, but maybe you can read a book, or maybe you can turn on some music for a little bit. Maybe everyone gets a little time in their bedroom for 10, 20 minutes before you have to start transitioning into the rest of the evening. Maybe you don't brush your teeth that night. You just, all of a sudden you get more flexible, right? Because that's what regulation does. Regulation, when we can breathe, when we can be mindful, when we can be aware, when we can be more conscious, when we ultimately can be more regulated, it gives us the ability to be more flexible within our window of tolerance. Stress is what causes us to get really rigid. So that's just the other part I want you to keep in mind. When your children have had really successful days, commend yourself, be grateful, be thankful, tell yourself you're doing a great job as a parent, that your child is not just making bad choices just when they get home, but actually recognize that their window of tolerance has just gotten much smaller, and they're just tired, and they're exhausted, and they're overwhelmed. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen says, I just love this point. I had a therapist years ago who'd state that in order to jump, one needs to lower oneself through his or her needs first. Otherwise, there's no power to jump. Yeah, absolutely. That's perfect. So thank you for that. And Merry Christmas to you, my sweet niece, Keisha. So that's all, guys. Remember, in any situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from the same stressful experiences. We can continue to react from our imprints. We can do the same thing over and over, expect a different outcome. We can react from fear and stress and overwhelm, or we can stop. We can slow down. We can take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and we can choose love. We all have the ability to do that. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you lay your heads down tonight, and I hope that you release all the stress in your body, all the stress in your cells, and I hope that joy just fills you, and I hope you've had a joyful day, and I hope that food settles down in your tummy real nice and easy and not too upset, and that in the morning when you wake up, you're ready for a new Wednesday, you're ready for an amazing day, and you're ready to be the amazing parent that you are. God bless you. Big Papa loves you, and I'll see you later.